Yo, how are you? I hope you're fine. Leo tumekutana in another video ready na sasa na andaa video nyingine kuhusu Baba Kyla. I hope you know Baba Kyla. Huyo ni Eric Omondi, the famous actor, comedian. What other roles? Ana roles nyingi by the way. So, I'm starting from the thing money laundering. Money laundering. Mukisikia mnasikia ni nini? I've heard about this word, this name, until I had to do some research. You know, for me, I go back to research. And then I come back critiquing what happened. Now, into my research, I was just trying to see the definition of money laundering. And I established that it's a process that allows criminals to transfer and unload money while hiding details and information, usually because they are getting the money through illegal situations. Unajua hapo kitambo I used to think money laundering ni making money, you know, like wash or something like that. But I've realized that money laundering is something different. It is bigger than just that. Maybe that can be part of it, but it's bigger. Now, what does money laundering mean for anyone? Now, if you look at Middle East and how Qatar have been fighting against it, or the Middle East generally, then you realize that it means that it will block the genuine ways of making money, and then it will make criminals have a stance, or rather enhance them. So, working against the standardized methods of making cash or sustaining it. Now, what is money laundering as a process? Yeah, as a process, it has three major processes, of course, that I found, 3 stages. The first one is an obvious one, the dirty money, into where someone is creating dirty money and then making it to be legitimate, bringing into the legitimate system. Yeah. Then the second process comes when you compound the transactions to add layers on the money going into banks. You complicate the process so that barriers are not reached. And the final stage is just to have the clean money in the society so that you can operate with it freely. Now, you've heard these cases Babu Owino mentioned. We've had Mike Sonko. We've also had the Mfalme wa Mombasa and so many other politicians. Now, who might launder money? There are so many people, of course, Nasai, even anybody is eligible to do that. But most people who do this are terrorists who are financing terrorism, that is, human traffickers, wale wanauza watu, kuna drug traffickers, because of course they receive a lot of money. Now, what are the examples of money laundering? Examples ni casinos. Nyinyi mnajua casinos. Mtu anarun biashara anasema anauza, maybe people come around, they dance, they watch, and then watu wanabuy chips too. The chips, you buy chips with the cash from the casino, then you claim to deposit and all that. Kuna smurfing ambayo ni structuring, mtu anachukua large money of money, ana break down, alafu ana deposit pole pole until that money reaches where they want to be. Then kuna real estate. By the way, real estate is one of the places that has really supported money laundering. Unapata mtu anapata large money, they go buy land, they build houses, so it's not easy to detect whether it's legal or illegal. Yachts, cars, and all those expensive assets. Kuna cryptocurrency, yenye unasikia Prince na the rest wakiongea kuhusu. Cryptocurrency comes when anonymous buyers or sellers do trading and other goods and services online. Then there is invoicing of fraud by fraudsters. Of course, they conduct that, maybe through electronic forms or bank transfers. And then there is fake companies. We've heard about that. Even during the time Gachagua was being impeached, there were questions on that. Now, the effect of money laundering is that it can really run down the economy because people will have so much money while others don't have. So these people, of course, avoid tax paying because they are conducting it illegally. And of course, the products will go high because some other people don't have money to access them, but there are specific who have it. Then it affects the society because it's a form of corruption, of course, because people now venture into these activities and they try to hide, so they pay off and what have you. So it you can't these people cannot like enhance infrastructures, education, or healthcare. Yeah, so we have processes that work against this, and such are mostly through the government itself. We have prevention of such companies through the initiation that we know out of the public. Then we have the system that works against that. Now, back to our story of Eric Omondi. Eric Omondi was arrested on Friday on charges of money laundering. However, when we check at the statements that were released today, when he was released, it is clear that there was nothing of such sort in his case. It is only that there is something else. So looking at when he was released and what his lawyer indicated, there is more to do with him. Maybe there's something else. Remember,
led to the arrest today. It's the 4th of June this year. That is 5 months later. So for such a misdemeanor, because the misdemeanor in law, for such a small crime, how do you take 5 months? What are they investigating? Mboga wana investigate nini kwa mboga? Mboga limwaga, what are they investigating? So for us, we what we are seeing is this is more than the mboga issue. Yeah, there's something else they were aiming at, but they didn't find, and now they've just decided to fall on any branch that was hanging.
From information on his profile, he is an activist. And of course, in Kenya, activists are one of the people targeted currently because of what they are doing and the fear that the government has now. You remember the lawyer indicated that given that Eric Omondi had sent some red flags, there was something on hashtag about occupying the state and the state house, and that is possibly what led to his arrest. And that's how they are going back to his case that was 5 months ago, indicating that he had sponsored the buying of what? The vegetables. Yeah. So if you look at that, there is a very lean relationship between what is happening and what was happening. So let's check on the profile and what we can see. We can see that he's an activist, especially in 2023. He has been arrested twice, February and April, after joining protests in Kisumu on high cost of living and later on high cost of living outside Parliament. In all cases, he has been paying bail and coming out. Even today, there was a cash bail of 5K that he paid before release. Now, what one is surprised with is that the magistrate was confused and indicated that it was unconstitutional for him to have been arrested. Now, being arrested and being held for more than 24 hours is also unconstitutional. And of course, we had the lawyer indicating that, but still it happened. And of course, the lawyer said arresting in the evening was the only way. And at first, they had not indicated that his mistake was worth that. They just said the conversation and all that. But then later on, they held him. And now today, there was the case that would not lead anywhere and he was finally released. Now, for the first time, we saw him and the wife also talking on media after his release by just around the court. We've seen on Obina's updates and Trudy's updates. Okay, so when we look at Recomendi's duty or work, he does a lot of marketing. He's, of course, even before he was arrested, he was going to Dar es Salaam in a specific marketing task. And he has done a lot with since he started on Churchill and later on our uni that never held and went on to some other programs. And every day is busy making content. So, of course, he once was questioned what his net is, and he just said that not 10 million, but he can feed Bien. You know Bien, the musician? he can feed Bien in the next 35 years. There is a time again we saw him flaunting cash, and he was comparing himself to Obina. So up to now, nobody exactly knows how much he has, but of course, as a marketer and a brand, he must be making a lot. So the claim of money laundering is based on how much he makes, possibly, but then there is no standing information about that. So when we look at such details, then we realize there are just some gaps within the legislative system of the country. Now, Eric Omondi seemed very confident in court, and of course when he was smiling just before the interrogation. I think you can see right there above. And then on release, it was scintillating for the fans and all that. Anyway, so many people are just asking, is Kenya becoming a village? That things have just to be done unconstitutionally and nothing procedural is followed. And then, whenever is held, from what the lawyer said yesterday, it is indicated that people from high above, the high authority, are saying he must be held or he must be brought to Central Police. Now, remember the last time, was it during, there was a celebration that happened in Kwale. And when he was arrested, it was also indicated that he came out indicating that some police had indicated to him, they have just said they deal with him. So we are just up to ask questions. Why Eric Omondi? What do you think?